experience on like
You started. So
you know what clothes
just put it in the top corner.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right, hello everybody. We are SafeNest. We are a software development company out of Auburn, and we've developed a car seat that hopefully will change the idea of what a car seat really is. So this is our team. I'm Alex Abele. I'm our Scrum Master. I was born in Birmingham, Alabama, and I graduated from Mountain Brook High School in 2022, and I am pursuing a computer science degree here at Auburn.
Hello everybody, I am Wynn. I'm the product owner here of SafeNest. I was born in Montgomery, Alabama in 2004. I grew up in Prattville, and I graduated from Reeltown High School in 2022 with my honors diploma. Here at Auburn, I am majoring in software engineering, and I hope to use my degree working for the Department of Defense.
Hi guys, I'm Will Jones. I'm one of the developers for SafeNest. I was born in Ozark, Alabama in 2004 and am currently going to Auburn University for computer science.
Hey everybody, I was born in Dalton, Oklahoma in 2001. I graduated from Hope Christian School in 2020. I'm a sophomore here at Auburn, majoring in computer science, and I'm also a developer here at SafeNest.
My name is Scott Thompson. I'm a developer for SafeNest. I was born in Monroeville, Alabama in 2003, and I graduated from Auburn High School in 2022. And I'm currently majoring in computer science here at Auburn University. So for the problems that we've noticed that we want to address with our product, everyday young children are unsafely left unbuckled in their car during car trips, and also sometimes left inside a hot car, which can be fatal. And aside from safety, the parents of the children who have to drive them can become annoyed because of the nursery rhymes and other kids' music that their kids want to listen to during the car ride.
So our goals as a company, obviously safety is our number one priority. We want to limit the deaths that happen from children being left in cars and or unbuckled. But we also want to provide a really enjoyable experience for both the passenger and the driver, which is why we implemented things like music. And overall, we want this to be very functional, so that's why we're going through Kia. We want to be able to brand it through Kia, so if you go get a new car, you could just get a package that comes along with this.
All right, so getting into our product now. So we have made a smart car seat for consumers to enjoy. Now, this car seat is primarily designed for safety and entertainment. And the features on this car is the fact that this car seat here is self-aware of the status of the child. It'll tell you that your child is unsafe. If the child may unbuckle themselves during the ride, it'll let you know. And to keep the child entertained while keeping the annoying distractions away from the driver, we have built in a speaker into the car seat that can be used via headphones or other speaker that can connect through Bluetooth or audio jack, so that the parent of or the guardian, the driver of the car, does not get distracted and annoyed listening to these annoying repetitive songs, and the child can stay entertained as well as be safe within the car.
So for our prototype, we used several different pieces of electronics and other materials to build this beautiful baby right here. We used a baseline car seat, which is this, and then we implemented seatbelt switches and weight switches to tell if the child is in the seat and if the seatbelt is buckled. And then here's some of the concept art from our early stages of development.
So now it's time for our live demonstration. We're just going to go ahead and jump right into it before we talk about any of the boring coding stuff. So we have this bad baby right here. Now, if Dalton can go ahead and pull up the GUI. So as you can see, our GUI is fairly simple, and you can see up on top here that we have the status indicators of what our car seat is. So we can see our child is not placed in the seat because the seat's empty. We also don't have the seatbelt buckled. Therefore, remember to buckle in your child. Our child's not safe to travel. We also have this down here, which is our music feature, which we can play a selection of tracks here from the GUI. And so if Dalton can show us an example of playing a song here. Alright, what about another song? How about you shuffle it? See what random song it might give us. I don't like this song. How about you turn it down a little bit? Alright, now let's pause the music right here. So we brought in a special guest with us today who we are very excited to have. I would like everybody to meet Baby James here. Now, Baby James, we're rewarding him today. We're going to be strapping him into our car seat. We're going to be taking him to the toy store because he gave Group 52 a 100 on their presentation. Now, when we place Baby James in our car seat, we can see our GUI updates now that our child is in the car seat. So we will wait now because we also have a feature where, well, I simply forgot to strap in my child because I'm a bad parent. So any minute now, we're going to get a text here saying that we forgot to strap in our child and we don't want to drive with our child unbuckled. So maybe around 10 seconds or so. Yep, here it is. From safeness, you want to unlock it? So we just got a text right here sent from your Twilio trial account. Your child is not buckled. So, well, now that I'm reminded to buckle in my child, now let's go ahead and buckle him in so that he's safe to travel. So we take this, and now our seatbelt is buckled, our child is safe to travel. We can now take Baby James to the toy store. So, great. So that's the end of our live demonstration. I like to thank Baby James for coming out here with us. Now he can go back in the bag. All right, so let's get the car seat out of the way now. So now it's time to talk about some of the boring stuff, but nonetheless, we are excited to talk about how we made our product work. So we can now go ahead and start getting into our code and talking about all these functions that we use to make this product possible.
Alright, so first we just have our imports. These are pretty simple, but it's important for you guys to understand. We have tkinter, which just makes our window, makes our buttons, our labels. Then we have pillow, which just allows us to display those images that you saw in the GUI. And then we have that random class that allows us to do the shuffle feature. And then we have Pygame, which also imports the mixer package, which allows us to play the music. And then we have that Twilio REST, which is the API that allows us to send those automated text messages. And then the time to keep track of how long the child has been in the seat. And then this function is just the child place function. You can see it just updates, whenever that wait switch is activated, it updates the GUI to show that the child has been in the seat. And then after 20 seconds, it's supposed to, it'll call another function that sends you a text message if your child isn't buckled. And then the child removed, just the inverse of that, you remove the child and it updates the GUI. And then this is the function that sends you the text. So if the child is placed and the seatbelt is not buckled, we'll use Twilio API to send that text saying your child isn't buckled.
Alright, this is the seatbelt portion of the code. Basically, after the seatbelt is activated, the program begins, and within this program, it is set to true. And if the child is in the seat and the seatbelt is also buckled, it sends a it shows a confirmation message. And then on the other side of the spectrum, if the seatbelt is not buckled, it will send a note right here. Remember to buckle in your child, and if not, it will send the seatbelt is not buckled.
So for the music controls, we have the song selecting function, which takes whatever song in the list that the user clicks through the GUI and has that set as a selected song. And then for the play button, when the user clicks the play button, it plays the song from the beginning, or if the song has been paused, it will resume the song. And then for the pause button, when the user clicks the pause button, the music is stopped.
So this is just our shuffle feature. It takes a list and uses the random class, and so when that random song's selected, this is what gets to play.
So the volume is fairly simple as well. So when you change the slider of the volume, we use the volume slider.get to get the number of which the slider is placed on. And when we divide it by 100, we can set it to a percentage. And using the mixer.music set.volume, that's how we actually control the volume and does exactly what you would think it would.
So with this code, we have some potential updates just in the future that we can implement pretty easily. First of all, integration with Spotify. Right now we just have pre-downloaded songs, but if we integrated with Spotify, which we could easily do with Kia, it would allow the parent to play personalized music for their child. And then when we implement this in an actual vehicle, we can connect it to the actual car so you can tell when the car is on or off, or whether the car is in park or drive or whatever. That will also help to improve the safety of the vehicle.
Okay, so this is how we achieved it, and here's our timeline. So starting on the 30th, we were given our assignment, and we were really thinking like what would improve the automotive community the most. And then not later after, we decided that having a smart car seat would be the best way, and then we came up with the Make Safe Nest. And then later we pitched our idea to the class and implemented our cultural relevancy. Then later we started with our code and started building our GUI. Later we began assembling our prototype, and lastly we finished the GUI and the prototype, and we put it together to make sure everything works hand in hand perfectly.
So this is why we chose Kia. Worldwide, Kia is seen as like a big family car brand. As you can see here, this is the Kia Telluride. It's a very safe, reliable SUV, and so we think them being a family brand would help us. And so if we can market towards Kia and become a family brand with them, we think that will help us in the future, becoming a bigger company, maybe partnering with more family brands of cars.
All right, so in order for our product to have any meaning to anyone, it has to have value to somebody. And with our value to Kia, we recognize how they have a growing number in sales over the years, having a 20% increase in sales from 2020 to 2021. And with a growing number, it brings a lot of families to these cars, and it can also increase the fatalities of children within cars without being reminded by our product to strap in the child, or if their child is left in the car. So, it's fairly rare that it may happen to anyone, but when you take a 0.01% chance of something to happen and you put it again, and you set it to like such a large scale of consumers, it's inevitable to happen. So we believe that our products and marketing it with, or partnering with a growing company, getting our product into families' hands can really help the lives of children. So not only do we have to have value to Kia, but for it to actually sell well, we have to have value to everybody, value to the people who would buy our product. So the growing number of sales, like I said before, it would therefore increase the number of deaths. That's inevitable, but our product can put an end to that. With such a massive company and our partnership, we can truly help the nation, help our world with preventing unjustified deaths. So we also have our entertainment part of the car seat, because we believe it is an extra feature of safety. Because if you've ever driven maybe a young cousin, or if you've ever had a younger brother and they want to listen to their songs in the car, it can be a real distraction and annoyance to the driver. So by isolating the child songs where they can wear their own headphones while the driver can listen to their own audio entertainment, it can decrease the distraction and provide a safer car experience. So baby James, well, he can make it to the toy store. So now we get into our future. Obviously, we want our partnership with Kia, but we believe our partnership shouldn't stop there. We want our product to be in as many hands as possible. So we want to branch to other car companies as well. We just figured Kia would be a good start. And we also just genuinely want to stop child fatalities due to these circumstances of negligence. So that is what our product ultimately does for society and Kia. So do we have any questions? Yes, sir.
Did y'all ever consider maybe contacting the police or paramedics when that text went off and nothing was done about it, or like in the future?
Well, if nothing's done about it and it results in the death of the child, that would go to the police anyway. I don't necessarily believe that just because a parent may have forgot to buckle in a child or the child may unbuckle themselves should immediately notify the police. We do want a good parent would see the text and buckle in their child and make sure they're safe. So we did not have that consideration.
In the future, that's part of what I was talking about with you connected to the car. Like, you could say if the car is off and it's been on a certain amount of time and the child's still buckled, then you can contact the police. But since we can't really connect to a car as of now, we can't really do that. But in the future, that'll be relatively easy to implement.
Yes.
How do you guys interface like a switch into the seat buckle? You can give real. You did.
All right, so I don't want to dissect this thing because it's pretty, but I bought a flexible keyboard and I ripped the switches out. I just cut it up and just had this big pressure plate that just puts pressure on just one individual key. So whenever I place baby James into the seat, it's just pressing that one key and updating the GUI that the child is in the seat. Yes?
Is the car seat battery powered or do you have to plug it into your car?
Right now, it is plugged in and powered through Dalton's laptop here. Battery powered, I would not be sure would be a good idea. I might prefer being powered via like an outlet or USB because batteries are a bit of a maintenance.
You could also just connect it to the car.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
As for the music aspect of the seat, so would it just be like built-in speakers into the seat? Because if that's the case and it was, let's say, a child was crying and maybe a parent driving would drown it out with music, but then wouldn't that just have a lot of conflicting sound with their own music and the child's music playing at the same time?
Ideally, the speakers would be right here on the headrest, and the speakers would not be loud at all because they're so close to the child's ears, so you would not be able to hear it. And then if a parent maybe can hear the child's music, then we also have the feature for headphones. So we just believe that separating the different audio entertainments for both the child and the driver can both provide a mutual beneficial experience. Yes?
If you could get a rough estimate about how much one unit of those would be worth, how much would you suggest?
Well, we did this for free.
Car seats are usually pretty expensive. We looked into buying one, so we borrow that one, but I would say probably a normal, I would say $200 to $300 probably.
You had a question?
I did have a question. So I was wondering, obviously, when you have a kid, you have a car seat, you're just leaving the car seat in the car, regardless of whether or not you're taking a kid with you, right? You're just, you go to the grocery store and your kid's in the house with, I guess the other parent. Does the car seat, sense the weight of the child and then checks if it's buckled, or is it just checking if it's buckled? Because then they would like to see that text every single time that they go somewhere.
That's why, yes. So that's why we have the keyboard underneath, so it detects the child, and if it detects a child, then it'll see if it's buckled. But otherwise, if you just keep the car seat in the car and it doesn't detect anything, it'll leave you alone.
Oh, cool. Good future. What's that? Future proof. Yeah.
Was it Twilio you used to send a text message?
Yes, sir.
How does that, can you give a little more technical details on that, send the text?
It was relatively easy. In the future, we would have to pay, and we could also, you saw it said using your trial account, obviously that wouldn't show up. You just pay a monthly fee, and it gives you a client ID and that secret key that I had to cover up. But all you do is you have a phone number that they sell to you for like $1 a month, and then if you pay more, you can send it to whatever phone numbers. But we could also have an app in the future that sends you notifications instead. You can do it multiple different ways, but Twilio makes it relatively easy. You got a question? Yeah.
As
So you said you wanted to branch out to other car companies too. Would you also want to branch out from just like booster seats and just genuinely constructing the actual seats for the car? And if so, do you think you'd still be using a pressure plate system for detecting the seatbelt?
Obviously, prototype. If we were to get a partner with Kia and potentially other companies, we would hope to make it a little more pretty and maybe a seatbelt that could actually hold baby James secure. But yeah, in the future, we plan on using something that would be more reliable and more durable. All right.
You guys gonna pay me for my image and likeness? That's right, it's convenience. It's a coincidence that the baby's name is James also.
Is baby James included?
No, baby James is just a special friend we brought out today.
Shame.
Oh,
Special partnership with Silicon Valley.